it's in. I get it. But it was pretty good. And it's Batman goes full on like H.P. Lovecraft insane. It's great. Anyway, folks, welcome to Werewolf Radar, the world's premier DC comic book griping podcast. My name is Jordan Dahl.
I am Nate Baldwin.
I'm Roger Norquist.
Today's episode of Werewolf Radar is brought to you by Monstroco Cookware. Cookware for the meats that dare not speak its name. Made of whispering iron, smelted from the blades of fallen chefs. This is the last cookware you'll ever buy. We guarantee it. Monstroco Cookware by Monstroco. What the fuck?
Oh, I'm excited. You know why? Because I can finally cook that pound of... I can't say its
you
name.
Can't pronounce, yeah.
But I can finally cook it.
Yeah.
It's going to stink up the building.
Yeah, for sure. And like when it's done and you're like, oh, it's done, you'll find yourself staring out of the pot at the meat cooking you. It's a whole thing. But it is good. It does work. Everything you cook in it becomes cursed.
That's why you have to use your patented Monstroco brand Nethermere.
Yes.
Keeps the curse from getting you.
Accurate. Everything that you cook in it becomes cursed unless you cook cursed meat. Weirdly, removes the curse.
Ooh. So
a
make sure you get
curse.
that cursed meat.
Yeah.
If you're going to use this curseware.
Yeah. Can I take the speaking skull?
Take the speaking skull
and whisper hideous nothings into its gaping maw.
Easy, Jordan. We're in the room too.
Hey,
Are
likes
you?
An audience.
Not according to my main character syndrome. You're not. Did you guys? I hope that someday my main character syndrome evolves into some sort of spooky, creepy old man on the side of the road syndrome, who warns people about the graveyard up that road.
Dude, that's my dream as well.
Yeah.
It's got a death curse.
I want to talk to you guys about Nan Madol. What do you know about Nan Madol?
I think it's my favorite type of Indian flatbread.
So Nan Madol, the Nan Madol ruins. This is from atlasobscura.com. They do great stuff over there, folks. And this is actually going to link into a secondary topic. This is kind of a two-parter, if you will. This is an island off the coast of a remote Micronesian island lay the ruins of a once great city, Nan Madol. This is made of man-made stone islands that represent the remains of a megalithic architecture on an unparalleled scale. This entire city is built out of gigantic basalt columns, like those hexagonal rocks that you might see at Giant's Causeway in Ireland or Fingal's Cave in Scotland.
Okay.
And there's a few sites that they think they might have come from, but the idea of building, they stack these stones like log cabin style, and some of the walls are like 30 feet high. And
I got a screen grab for you.
It's just an immense city.
I think I have heard of this actually.
Yeah, they say evidence of the earliest human activity dates back to the 1st and 2nd century BC. The construction of artificial islets started probably about the 8th and 9th century AD. So they built islands to build this shit on. However, the megalithic structures were built in period of 12th to 13th century, about the same time as the stone construction of the Cathedral of Notre Dame in Paris or Angkor Wat in Cambodia. So the people of Nan Madol
happening all over the world.
The people of Nan Madol saw Angkor Wat and Notre Dame, and they were like, we can one up that.
We'll put it on hard mode too. We're going to do it in the jungle.
We'll do it in the jungle with giant stone columns. What do you think of that? The complex of Nan Madol is constructed on a series of artificial islets in the shallow water next to the eastern shore of Pohnpei Island. Not Pompeii, Pohnpei. Pohnpei.
Pon with an N, like Nancy.
Yep. The site encloses an area approximately 1.5 kilometers by 5 kilometers wide. Nan Madol seems to have housed the ruling elite caste of the Saudeleur dynasty. It was a political and ceremonial seat of power. As a means of control of their subjects, Saudeleur dynasty had succeeded in uniting the clans of Pohnpei. The rulers forced local chieftains to leave their home villages and move to the city where their activities could be more closely observed. They'd be like, we don't want you chiefing out there. Come back here so we can chief you more closely.
Why don't you chief with me? I would like you close. I'm not trying to stab you in the back.
Yeah. Population of Nan Madol was thought to be about 1,000 at the time, whereas the population of Pohnpei in general was only about 25,000 people. There are no sources of fresh water or possibilities to grow food on Nan Madol, so all supplies had to be brought in from the mainland. Nan Madol is the biggest center of the culture, which left numerous other megalithic structures scattered on neighboring shores on the main island of Pohnpei. It all can be found in the area of about 18 square kilometers. Now, according to local legend, the stones used in the construction of Nan Madol have been flown to the location by means of black magic. That's how they got them there. That's how they moved them there.
Hey,
Archaeologists...
That's the only real way to build anything.
Archaeologists have located several possible quarry sites on the main island. However, the exact method of transportation and construction of the construction material is still not determined. Lovecraft used the story of the ruins as the basis for R'lyeh, a fictional sunken city and namesake of Roger's character in our ongoing D&D game.
That is part of his chant. First name place, last name chant.
It was the home. R'lyeh is the home of Cthulhu, appearing in the short story, The Call of Cthulhu. The nightmare corpse city of R'lyeh was built in measureless eons behind history by the vast, loathsome shapes that seeped down from the stars. There lay great Cthulhu and his hordes, hidden in green, slimy vaults until the end. Now, Nan Madol, there's definite signs of human habitation, but this is all kind of close and in the vicinity of what they call the Solomon Islands. The Solomon Islands were kind of a big setting of some World War II campaigns. Particularly the Battle of Guadalcanal happened there.
Oh, I'm familiar.
And within the Solomon Islands, they tell tales of, you guessed it, giants.
Ooh.
And they think that giants might have built Nan Madol. And then later people moved in, and once they had ousted the giants. So if you look up Guadalcanal Giants, there's some pretty good YouTube videos. I'll give you guys just a little taste from fandom, cryptids.fandom.com here. But this is the story of the Solomon Island Giants. The Solomon Islands is a sovereign state in Oceania, east of Papua New Guinea, consisting of nearly 1,000 islands. In size, it covers slightly smaller than the state of Maryland. The Solomon Islands are believed to have been inhabited by Melanesian people for thousands of years. Spanish navigator Alvaro de Madania discovered the islands in 1568 and named them Islas Solomon because he believed he was going to find the lost city of King Solomon there. He thought he'd found it. He was like, this is the place. We'll find King Solomon's gold and his many magical artifacts. The United Kingdom established a protectorate over the Solomon Islands, which is just another word for an empire. In the Second World War, there was fierce fighting between the Americans and the Japanese in the Solomon Islands, campaign 1942 to 1945, including the Battle of Guadalcanal. Most Americans are familiar with the area through the name Guadalcanal. It is believed that Papuan-speaking settlers began to arrive around 30,000 BC, The people of Solomon Islands were infamous for headhunting and cannibalism before the arrival of Europeans. 120 indigenous languages are spoken there. The capital is Honiara, but that's not all that's going on there. Marius Boyrayan, research director, Solomon Anthropological Expedition Trust Board Incorporated, or SITB, is one of the researchers who has been doing investigations in the Solomon Islands on the accounts of true giants. Australian Boyrayan, who lived and worked in the Solomons as a helicopter pilot and engineer, ended up marrying a Solomon Islander. He grew to know and appreciate the culture, the folklore, and day-to-day interaction between the natural history of the area and the people living there. Before long, he began hearing about the stories of the giants and decided to write of what he was learning. In his book, Solomon Island Mysteries, Boyrayan first chronicles the information he was gathering from the natives, of whom his wife is one, from the Solomons. He came to know that there were giants on islands, one that was large, over 10 foot tall, with evidence that supports that the giants do grow much taller than that. It doesn't say what that evidence might be, but I guess he doesn't need it. These Guadalcanal giants, as he calls them, have very long black, brown, or reddish hair. Does that remind you of any giants we've heard about?
I've heard of a lot of the giants
I've heard about. Yeah.
They have protruding double eyebrows. That's right, double eyebrows. They got quad brows.
Now, is that stacked one on top of the other, or one and then like another one jutting away from that one?
That's
like
what I
all
was
the way
thinking.
off of the face.
Listen to your heart. Dealer's choice.
The latter.
They supposedly have bulging red eyeballs, flat noses, and wide, gaping mouth facial features. Awareness of them is shown by the newspapers as well. Harry Trumbor's illustration, which is shown on the fandom page, is of one of the Malaysian true giants, locally called Orang Dalam, from the Field Guide of Bigfoot and Other Mystery Primates. They are said to be upwards of 20 feet tall and similar to the ones seen in the Solomon Islands. The Solomon Islanders are lacking the understanding that their giant race would be a big scientific discovery to the rest of the world, Boyrayan points out. Whether by design or not, it is appropriate that the Solomon Islands national logo is the place that time forgot. That's not a logo, that's a saying. So bad job, Boyrayan.
Slogan at best.
Maybe it's all written out in a cool font, more graphicized.
Yeah, maybe they're all like animals spelling it out. Who knows? Boyrayan has collected firsthand accounts of the sightings of the giants, said to be over 15 feet tall, which leave footprints around construction sites. There are even kidnapping stories. He shared one on the website, and here it is. This story is a little upsetting.
There's always a kidnapping story where you're like, this is going bad halfway through.
Yeah, so if you'd like to punch out, it won't hurt my feelings. The Guadalcanal
Come back in
people,
20 minutes.
It's only take about 45 seconds. The Guadalcanal people and many others all know the story of Mango, whom passed away 2 years ago. This was, his book was in 2006. She had been kidnapped by the giants 50 years ago and spent 25 odd years with them. And like them all, they had given her up for dead until she was found pregnant, hysterically frothing from the mouth in a garden on the northeast coast. A giant had taken her as a wife. When the men realized who she was, they tried capturing her, but because her skin was as slimy as an eel, they found it difficult holding her. No explanation as to why her skin got all slimy, but I'm sure there's some sort of disgusting connection with her being a giant bride.
Beauty regimens or something?
One of the men got an ingenious idea and got some particularly rough-sided leaves, which they used to hold her down and tie her up with a vine. Good Lord. Understandably, she was mentally unstable for the remainder of her life, but through her pregnancy, she gave birth to a half-caste boy, a giant human hybrid is probably a more acceptable name for it. Him, them, they. The bastard boy lived to the age of 5 when one of Mango's brothers slaughtered him. So the kid grew to be about 5 years old, and one of Mango's brothers decided enough is enough and killed him. Peter and a few other friends of mine know where he is buried. Yeah, supposedly there's people who know where this half-giant boy is buried, but they won't tell anyone.
Let us dig him up.
Dig up his bones, pull out his skull. Mango is just one of the many types of this thing that has happened too. But you don't have to believe me, just ask them. There are quite a few more. It's very funny when somebody like is writing a book and they're like, there are lots of stories about this type of thing happening, but I'm not going to tell you. So just
do your own research.
Yeah, who cares? There's also a story of Japanese soldiers running into a giant in the Solomon Islands. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Vamp, fellas.
I am having my mind blown by this. I don't know how I haven't heard it before, but I'm in love with all these tales.
Yeah, no, I mean,
of like giants and civilizations. It has a lot of energies of what's that one in the Indian Ocean? Sure. Which one?
Well, the Giant of Kandahar for sure.
Yep. Giant of Kandahar, yeah. So here's an account of the Japanese encounter with the giants in the Solomon Islands from Reddit by poster Believer. The Solomon Islands experienced some of the fiercest fighting in World War II and are famous for the bloody Battle of Guadalcanal in 1942 and 43. Japanese forces had more to contend with than Allied soldiers on the Solomon Islands. While traversing the island's numerous remote, thick forests, the soldiers often reported coming across giant, hairy hominids ranging from 10 to 15 feet in height and covered in long brown to reddish-brown hair, with prominent brows, flat noses, and wide mouths. The creatures had immense arms and were known on occasion to even brandish crude weapons such as clubs. Which honestly, the giants that they're describing don't sound like they would build a giant megalithic city unless this is like some offshoot.
No.
That feels like some kind of archaeological racism at work there.
I mean, these might be the giants that the one tribe was like, let's send those giants to the other side of the island. We're going to do our building.
Yeah. Maybe they did live there until somebody wanted to come in and build basalt skyscrapers. It was reported that the giants were known to be quite aggressive and even attack on occasion. Several units described these terrifying beasts crashing through the foliage to ravage squads of soldiers. I thought that said squads of toddlers for a second. I was like, boy.
They would ravage squads of toddlers too.
Yeah, that's true. Or snapping apart trees and branches in threatening displays of power. Bullets were said to have little effect on them, and soldiers would, on many occasions, be kept awake by inhuman wailing from the dark as the strange behemoths wandered the night. Indeed, the Solomon Islands have a long history of mysterious giants, and the local people are well aware of them. There's a rich tradition of folklore, as well as sightings and footprint evidence of giant hairy hominids on the islands that continue to this very day.
Whoa.
So there you go. That's the story of the Solomon Island giants and a little bit about Nan Madol, which is a mysterious megalithic structure in the Solomon Islands that was, maybe they used magic to control the minds of the giants and lifted it over. I don't know. Or maybe it was just, construction as it goes on.
It's very surprising how some of these moved. Did you ever watch that documentary where they kind of figure out how they move the Moa statues?
Oh yeah, where they like rolled them on trees.
No, that's the fool's way.
They walked them.
Yeah, the legends say they walked the statues.
Yeah, they walked them with ropes.
Very fascinating.
That does it for my segment, which I'm calling Fee Fi Fo Fuck.
Nice.
I can't believe that hasn't been used yet. Best one for Giants.
That was pretty good. I'm pretty proud of that one.
Nate, you go, because I'm going to end the episode with us learning about random aliens.
Ooh.
Okay. Well, I shall fondle the backside of the head of the speaking skull.
Yeah, fondle that fontanelle.
So we all know about the Roswell UFO crash.
Nash?
Yes.
But did you know that there was another crash some 50 years earlier in Aurora, Texas?
Oh.
No.
Did not. Never heard of it.
That's right. This is the Aurora, Texas UFO incident. On April 19th, 1897, an article in the Dallas Morning News written by S.E. Hayden described the UFO crash. Let me just, I can bring the article up right now and take a quick read through it. Here's the article from 1897. About 6 o'clock this morning, the early risers of Aurora were astonished at the sudden appearance of the airship which had been sailing through the country.
There it is. Get up.
It was traveling due north and much nearer the Earth than ever before. Apparently, this thing's been around. Evidently, some of the machinery was out of order, for it was making a speed of only 10 or 12 miles an hour and gradually settling toward the Earth. It sailed directly over the public square, and when it reached the north part of town, collided with the tower of Judge Proctor's windmill.
Whoops.
And went to pieces
Oh, no.
with a terrific explosion,
Good Lord.
scattering debris over several acres of ground, wrecking the windmill and water tank, and destroying the judge's flower garden.
Not only did it prove the existence of extraterrestrial life, it wrecked the windmill and the water tank and the garden.
His garden, he's been spending the whole spring on that, Jordan.
I know. Poor Judge Proctor. The pilot of the ship is supposed to have been the only one on board, and while his remains are badly disfigured, enough of the original has been picked up to show that he was not an inhabitant of this world.
Whoa. And he was drunk. Was he drinking?
Oh, probably. I mean,
Keystone lights littered the floor of the craft.
Mr. T.J. Weems, the United States Signal Service officer at this place and an authority on astronomy, gives it his opinion that he was a native of the planet Mars.
Okay, just picking one out, huh, TJ Weems? Also, these are some amazingly old-timey names. Weems, get up! Judge Proctor's windmill's been destroyed by a spaceman.
H.G. Wells was right.
Papers found on his person, evidently the record of his travels, are written in some unknown hieroglyphics and cannot be deciphered.
Nice.
The ship is too badly wrecked to form any conclusion as to its construction or motive power. It was built of an unknown metal resembling somewhat a mixture of aluminum and silver, and it must have weighed several tons.
Cool.
And then it sort of just cuts off the last thing. Oh, it's just about the pilot's funeral will take place at noon tomorrow. That's right.
Wow.
You should know it.
Oh, they had a funeral for him.
Let's dig up his body too.
Boy.
Well, we will get to that.
It's kind of depressing, right? To think that if you crash land on an alien planet and they're like, well, let's give him to our God.
Which they did. They specifically said that it was buried with a quote Christian rites at the nearby Aurora Cemetery.
Boy, you think you're lonesome now out there? Try being the only alien in Christian heaven.
Also reportedly, apparently wreckage from the crash site was just dumped into a nearby well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do we use it for drinking?
No, that one's for space trash.
You actually can't use it for drinking because apparently a Mr. Brawley Oates, who purchased Judge Proctor's property around 1935, cleaned out the debris so he could again use the well as a water source. But apparently...
Get all of this worthless spaceship debris out of my well.
Yeah, right?
I'm Brawley Oates, damn it.
He came down with a severe case of arthritis, which he blamed on contaminated water.
Oh, it's that damn space alien water.
As a result, old Oates sealed up the well with a concrete slab and placed an outbuilding atop it.
Nice, that's some ring shit. Well, I guess alien ring shit.
And apparently there's writing on the slab saying that this was all done in 1945. Also still standing outside the cemetery is a whole plaque put up by the Texas Historical Commission telling the story of the crash and the alien burial.
Raleigh, absolute twerp.
So anyway, now we'll get to the hoax theory, and then we'll debunk it.
Wait, some people don't believe this?
And we're debunking the hoax? Exactly. I love it.
You mean we're rebunking?
Yeah, we're rebunking. Yes.
I like that. Nate's rebunk corner.
The hoax theory is primarily based on a 1980 Time magazine interview with Etta Peggs, an 86-year-old Aurora resident who claimed that Hayden had fabricated the entire story, stating that Hayden, quote, wrote it as a joke and to bring interest to Aurora. The railroad bypassed us and the town was dying. Peggs further claimed that, yeah, I know, but you gotta do something, right? Mm-hmm. If the railroad ain't gonna come through, although we've been through Texas, it's like 80% dead towns.
Yeah.
Well, because it's just what happens in Texas. Peggs further claimed that Judge Proctor never operated a windmill on his property. But we'll get around.
He had one, but he didn't know how it worked.
But we will get to that as we go on to the investigations. In 1998, Dallas-based TV station KDFW Fox 4 aired a lengthy report about the Aurora incident. Reporter Richard Ray interviewed former Fort Worth Star-Telegram reporter Jim Mars. Is he the alien, actually?
Coincidence? Probably.
And other locals who said something crashed in Aurora. Okay. However, Ray's report was unable to find conclusive evidence of extraterrestrial life or technology. Ray reported that the state of Texas erected a historical plaque in town that outlines the tale, then labels it a, quote, legend. So, but I mean, it is the legend. It's all the town has is this one thing.
Yeah.
It's why you get off the train in another town or rent a car.
Exactly. However, more investigations to come. On December 19th, 2005, UFO Files first aired an episode related to the incident titled Texas's Roswell.
Oh.
The episode featured a 1973 investigation led by Bill Case, an aviation writer for the Dallas Times-Herald and the Texas State Director of MUFON. And it sounds like Bill Case might be both the Texas State Director of MUFON and the aviation writer for Dallas Times-Herald.
Sure.
Since it doesn't give a second name.
He just switches hats and interviews himself in a hilarious fucking Laurel and Hardy bit.
He spins it around. He's got two bills and two different fronts.
Yeah. Wow. What a scoop from
They're
me.
both mesh. But it might be two people. I don't know. It's poorly written. MUFON uncovered two new eyewitnesses to the crash. Mary Evans, who was 15 at the time, told of how her parents went to the crash site and that they forbade her from going. and the discovery of the alien body. Charlie
Classic.
Stevens, what?
Classic.
Yeah, right.
You can't go. You can't go to the alien crash until you finished your homework.
That's just about what's going to happen to Charlie Stevens, age 10, told how he saw the airship trailing smoke as it headed north toward Aurora. He wanted to see what happened, but his father made him finish his chores.
Charlie.
Oh,
bummer.
Parents just don't understand.
Parents just don't understand.
Which is a great way to bring in both Men in Black and Independence Day.
Nice.
The old Will Smith corollary. Later, he told how his father went to town next day and saw the wreckage from the crash. So a shit ton of people did see this stuff, apparently.
Okay.
But only one of them, that Etta Pegs, was alive, when time wanted to come through with their
and she says poppycock.
Yeah.
Poppycock.
MUFON then investigated the Aurora Cemetery and uncovered a grave marker that appeared to show a flying saucer of some sort, as well as readings from its metal detector.
Whoa, Mamma Mia.
Yeah. MUFON asked for permission to exhume the site, but the Cemetery Association declined. After the MUFON investigation, the marker mysteriously disappeared from the cemetery, and a 3-inch pipe was placed into the ground.
With 3-inch?
Which I don't know.
Just questions, mysterious questions. Yeah. That's weird all around.
Like a strange reaction.
MUFON's metal detector no longer picked up metal readings from the grave. Thus, it was presumed that the metal was removed from the grave. By the way, so they didn't dump all of the ship into the well. They dumped some of it in with the alien's body for whatever reason.
Okay,
It was a hole had been dug. It was a place to put stuff.
Yeah, might as well put some stuff in it. There's a body in there. Well, I guess there's going to be some debris as well.
I got this hole over at my place. Want to chuck an alien in there? Yeah, all right.
MUFON's report eventually stated that the evidence was inconclusive, but did not rule out the possibility of a hoax. The episode featured an interview with Mayor Brammer, who discussed the town's tragic history.
Interesting.
And I don't know if they're talking about the tragedy of the plane crash, or it's the fact that the railroad tracks was too far away.
Yeah, maybe a little of both.
A few years later, on November 19th, 2008, UFO Hunters first aired another television documentary regarding the Aurora incident titled First Contact. Wow. The documentary featured one notable change from the UFO Files story. Tim Oates, grandson of Brawley Oates and the now owner of the property with the sealed well where the UFO wreckage was purportedly buried, allowed the investigators to unseal the well.
Huge gap.
In order to examine it for possible debris.
Boy, I'm just envisioning somebody at UFO Hunters HQ hanging up the phone and going, "We got Oates."
Yeah. Water was taken from the well, which tested normal except for large amounts of aluminum present.
Whoa.
Which is what they maybe thought was one of the metals.
Yeah.
The well had no significant contents. It was stated in the episode that any large pieces of metal had been removed from the well by a past owner of the property, which we already know.
Right. That guy got
old Brawley Oates.
I want to drink this contaminated water. Remove the debris.
Don't let him drink the water. Please do anything to it. Don't. If Roger comes to you asking for some of the water for sipping, I beg you, for his own health, don't let him drink the water.
But what if it gives us
sweaty and red-faced he is?
What if he gives us superpowers?
Well, yeah, but at what cost?
Well,
you're going to become the vessel for something.
Is superpower to you?
It could be.
in the wrong hands.
These slow moving hands.
Strong hands.
Furthermore, the remains of a windmill base were found near the well site, which allegedly refuted Miss Pegg's statement that Judge Proctor never had a windmill on his property.
Take that, you lying old bitch.
In addition, the Aurora Cemetery was again examined. Although the Cemetery Association still did not permit exhumation, using ground-penetrating radar and photos from prior visits, an unmarked grave was found in the area near the other 1890s graves. However, the condition of the grave was badly deteriorated, and the radar could not conclusively prove what type of remains existed.
How dare they say that about the radar?
They found remains in an unmarked grave. The landowner also gave them pieces of metal that contained mostly aluminum and an unknown element, it says here.
Spacetonium.
Element 169.
Nice.
And then, there's the old in popular culture section that I don't think we have to care about, but I do think this is kind of funny. You may be aware of the Fire Sign Theater. They're a comedy troupe who released albums in the 60s and 70s.
Don't know that.
Sure.
They're reasonably funny. They're not nearly as funny as most of the other stuff you can find on record. We
not
had some
nearly as funny as everything else, but
I mean, they did some good. It's as good as like the pre-Monty Python kind of stuff where they don't know what the fuck they're doing and they don't have half the members.
Okay, it's kind of like us.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
When will we get when will we get our other members?
Yeah.
When will we become the true radar?
Apparently for some.
And Hugh Laurie. the Hughes. The missing Hughes.
We've got two Hughes. For some reason in 1974, they satirized the incident on their comedy LP, Everything You Know Is Wrong.
Fucking hilarious.
In 1974, this thing hasn't been talked about probably since 1897.
Amazing.
And that Time article wasn't for another 6 years. So what were they fucking thinking?
Who was that funny for?
Like they performed in that Texan town, and they were like, "What's you have a what now? An alien grave?"
People here would like the alien grave. Why didn't they let them dig it up? You goons!
Oh, but yeah, that's
Christians aren't fun.
That's the short story of the tragic first UFO crash on U.S. soil, as far as I know, at least, in Aurora, Texas.
But then they dug it up themselves. Oh, I'm furious. I'm always furious when there's like at what could have been,
Yeah.
Let us at it.
Yeah, well, and even if there was just like a bunch of weird mangled auto parts or some shit that was down there, give us closure.
Yeah, well, maybe that's what they were worried about was closure. People, they'd be like, nobody will come to pray at the alien grave anymore.
It's because we are waiting for approval when we should be asking for forgiveness. We should say, sorry, we exhumed your alien body.
That's the attitude that got Roger banned from the zoo.
I just wanted a pet a flamingo.
And you got to. And ultimately ate one dark night in August.
All right. Well, let me do you have your highlight stick for catching this highlight skull?
I got the highlight stick. Toss me at the world's deadliest curse game.
Winging it at you.
That one almost got my face.
With the use of a highlight stick, the skull travels in excess of 300 miles an hour.
So earlier, I was looking at charts of human alien hybrids for reasons that I don't need to explain to anyone.
No.
And I found this awesome book on Amazon. I paid $10 for it.
Nice.
And it is called The Extraterrestrial Species Almanac.
Compabasso.
I know all the alien species now.
Wow.
And I am going to inform you of them.
Tell us.
And for right now, I think for the next few episodes for me, we're going to go over this list.
This is Roger's thing now.
This is my thing. I have I have human extraterrestrial races. I have Zeta humans, Greys, and more. I have animal and insect races, notable hybrid races, reptilians.
What is meant by Zeta humans?
Oh,
like Zeta reticuli?
Yes, exactly. Your Greys and other things in the Zeta reticula system.
Right.
And other aliens or other extraterrestrials. And I would like you all to select which one we do first.
Oh, boy.
So we have humans, we have Zetas, alien, animal and alien, or insect, notable hybrid races, and reptilians, and some other ones.
Okay.
The insects are pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Okay.
They're freaks.
Let's freak.
We all know about what are they called? The mantis beings.
Yes.
The mantoids.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna miss that one. We'll go over it again.
Skip it
For now, because I want to bring you something I know you don't know about. The Beesonites.
The Beesonites, are they bees?
They're bees.
Hey, all right.
Alien bees.
Now are they? Is it like one big bee or is it a cloud of bees? You know what? Don't tell me. I want to find out.
We'll go into it. Universal origin. Beesonites come from the Boots constellation in the northern sky. Am I pronouncing that wrong? B-O-O with an umlaut. T-E-S.
Boots. I don't know.
Boots. Physical characteristics, male and female Beesonites are on average 5 to 6 feet tall. Okay. They have a thin insectoid.
Too tall for a bee.
That's too tall for a bee.
Scary bee.
They have a thin insectoid body, 4 long, slender fingers with 3 joints and thumbs.
Oh.
Enlarged aqua bee-like eyes.
Oh.
A human nose and mouth. And ears of a small dog.
What?
Yeah, it can almost give you puppy dog eyes, but it's just the sides of its head.
Their skin is tan, smooth, and soft leather-like.
Dang, new persona just dropped.
Belief system: the Beesonites are master teachers of the cosmic law of one.
Ears of a small dog is wrecking my head, dude. I just can't see it.
I'm looking it up in the book. It is in here, the cosmic law of one. Here we go. Appendix B, cosmic law. The cosmic law, a law of one. These laws are designed to align lives to the universal frequency of harmony. We have the law of unity. Everything is interconnected. Law of vibration, tuning the spiritual body to vibration at a high frequency enriches life. Law of manifestation, law of cause and effect, law of mental clarity, law of spiritual development, law of physical health, law of social interactions, and law of compensation.
Oh.
Now, don't confuse this with a cosmic claw.
Yeah.
That from the Cancer.
2 separate things.
And then there's the cosmic law of racketeering, which is a whole kind of a system of small laws.
Space Rico.
Yes.
Their energetic connection between all living beings. They feel us. Their connection between all living things holds a respect like no other. They are known as benevolent sensitives.
They're kind of they're like the druid class.
It seems like it. They are aware that all beings carry the entire history of the universe in their cells.
Oh man. Even me?
Oh, yeah.
Even you.
Yeah,
wow.
It's not me.
Oh,
But
But
Nate
if you could access your Akashic record,
I can't yet.
fair.
I'm busy fighting it in Final Fantasy 16, man. I'm doing the opposite.
Yeah, I can't access mine, but
destroying
it's
the
tied up
Akashic
in,
records.
Yeah, it's part of the plot.
It's tied
It's
up.
the
in,
only way to continue.
I'm trying to get mine, but I got to fill out a bunch of paperwork. It's tied up in the Akashic court.
Their cosmic agenda, the Beesonites are part of the Galactarian alignment and participate that's a normal word, and participate in the Melchizedek Star Seed program.
Melchizedek.
Melchizedek.
I don't know what it means, but I know that it's the name of a shader in Destiny.
Okay, then
Melchizedek Bramble.
They are also stationed in the Galactarian alignment motherships above Earth.
Okay. There's
And across
there's
this
motherships up there, huh?
And they have ships across the solar system in preparation of its dimensional shift.
Well, help us out down here.
Beesonites have Galactarian mothership starships, thought ships, fleet ships, and scout ships. All their craft and command centers use biological supercomputers. Some of their spherical fleet and mothership skins are designed after their own hypersensitive bee-like eyes.
Oh.
The skin serves as a visual amplifier to pull images from afar closer just by thinking it so.
Whoa.
So they have normal healing modalities, whatever that means. I guess they heal like us.
Mm-hmm.
Slow, un-Wolverine-like.
Sure.
And incorporate some of their own unique technologies, I guess, into their healing. With third eye sight, they have the uncanny ability to see into body overlays and repair damage through DNA.
And the ears of a small dog.
With the ears of a small dog. I have a picture coming up.
You got to think: are they flappy floppy ears, sticky uppy ears? Is one of them like down?
They heal with their dog ears using a device that is like a white wand with an oval tip.
Oh, okay.
They understand that DNA is communicative, and when speaking its language, it responds to healing instantly.
Oh, that's interesting.
All right. Are you ready for
some football?
The Beesonite. The Beesonite.
Oh, whoa.
They're
Those
both
are
kind of raised floppies.
They're raised floppies. The ears of a small dog. Look at that. Wow. Okay.
Anyway, I love this book.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like the picture, but it does answer some of my questions.
Oh, all the pictures are like that. They're great.
Yeah.
So we have time for one more.
Hit me.
Do you want reptilian, other extraterrestrial?
I want other
hybrid?
Extraterrestrial. I want like a Chewbacca. I want a mammal.
You want a mammal? Okay, so we'll stick in the animal.
Go on.
We'll stick in the mammal. Let me see.
Don't stick it in the mammal.
Don't stick it in the mammal. All right. Are we ready
for some
Beesonite
fursuit art?
Fursuit.
Yeah. The fursuit of happiness.
Here we are. We have the lion-feline being.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
that is just
that's
from DeviantArt.
We are talking about the lion-felines.
The Lion-Felines
extraterrestrial
are an
race.
Extraterrestrial built exclusively for sex.
I mean, if we're being honest, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Universal origin, the lion-felines come from the Sirius star system in the Canis Major constellation. There are other feline civilizations that are located in the Antares and Lyra systems.
Those seem quite incongruous. You'd think they'd be from like the feline
whatever,
constellation.
the non-dog one.
Yeah.
Physical characteristics. The lion-felines are comparable to cats and lions on Earth. They have the blended features of a cat and a human with larger eyes and cat pupils.
Oh boy.
Some have fur, some have slight fur or peach fuzz.
Somebody's just pounding it right now.
Tails everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Tails everywhere.
Both males and females got the tails. Sorry, I didn't mean like tails on the shoulders. Tails where they normally go.
Yeah, but tentacles everywhere.
Yeah, that's right. They're part octo. The male and female lion-human mix are almost 7 feet tall, have manes of hair, more characteristic of humans in bodily form.
Okay.
With a soft chamois-like chamois.
CHAMOIS.
Yep. Chamois. Soft chamois-like flesh in tones of orange, gray, black, and white.
This
That
is a
makes it
fursuit.
even worse. Yeah,
This is a
because
fursuit.
I'm used to having my hand inside of one of those.
Their facial features are more human, but they have cat eyes, cat nose, and smaller mouths.
Cat boobs and cat butts.
They have tails. Both are benevolent, spiritual, and intellectual.
Okay.
2 for 2 on the nice extraterrestrials.
Yeah. Oh, there's bad ones.
There's bad ones on this list.
Oh, yeah,
yes.
the reptiles for sure.
Most of the reptiles, some of the insectoids. Belief system: the feline lions believe in the cosmic law of one as well.
Okay.
Cosmic agenda: the lion felines are part of the Galactarian alignment, kind of I guess a Star Trek. And they're also part of the, what was it, Melchizedek star seed program.
Okay.
They're just seeding stars all over the place, like fish.
Yeah. Pow.
They wish to assist us in learning about all cosmic life that is different than ourselves.
They wish to assist us in jacking it.
Yeah. To learn the customs and cultures of our most unique brethren. They long for the day when they are able to interact with us. They're longing for it.
They want
But
it.
our star seeds.
There are so many conventions they could infiltrate.
Oh, they're there.
But our star
flesh.
seed hasn't awoken yet.
What is our star seed?
That's the kind of like us. We're the star seed, and we need to awaken it, and then we can become a star nation.
See,
our empathy and mental prowess.
I'm beginning to think I might have skipped some parts of my 3-part series on the Ponte Star Nation of the Sandia Mountains.
Get back in there.
I'll get back in there. They're actually not part of this list. However, they're probably misreferencing them as the Greys.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
They wish to assist us in learning about cosmic life, include especially the customs and cultures of the most unique brethren. They long for the day when they are able to interact with us. They usually begin seeing when the starseed first awakes. We, the starseed, will usually begin seeing images of cosmic peoples. And then the feline race will appear to us. They want us to know how much they love us.
Oh.
Yeah, if you're on the YouTube, you just saw an image of a cosmic being.
Yeah.
Yep, subscribe to the YouTube. All their craft include motherships, starships, thought ships. We'll go into that at a later date. Fleet ships, scout ships. All their craft and command centers, however, use biological supercomputers. They got a brain in there.
Wow.
The craft travel through space-time funnels and the inner space continuum.
Okay.
Which I have the glossary. We can go over some terms next time to clear some stuff up because there's a shit ton in here.
Sure.
Now, their mental abilities are supernatural to us. They can see into other realms, differentiate between various dimensions, and sense when an invisible being is present. kind of like cats.
A little bit. Lots of cat action happening here.
They can heal through cure wounds. They just touch you and cure wounds.
They don't have the wand.
They don't have the wand. They're just touch.
Quote unquote wand.
Quote unquote. It just happens to vibrate as well at very special frequencies.
Mm-hmm. It's a massager.
It's a weapon for Kasuga.
Yes.
Feline lions are fully conscious and sovereign beings, highly telepathic.
Okay.
They have a near paranormal sense of intuition and perceive danger well before it happens, receiving images and pictures of what is to come.
Spidey sense, we call that here on
kind of
Earth.
like one of the children in Twilight.
Right. Ah, yes, that horrible baby. Have you ever heard the thing about like at the Twilight movies, like the crew was terrified to work with that baby?
Yeah. Have you seen the baby?
Yeah, it's awful. It is an awful thing from hell.
So now the dimensional capacity. Feline lions reside in the 4th to 6th densities.
Ah.
And can lower their vibration to interact with races. In the 3rd density, they mean what we call dimensions.
Dimensions. Oh, okay.
They call it densities. And it's 4:20. It's time to get high. I'm going to wrap up my segment and carry on later with the Extraterrestrial Species Almanac.
Mm-hmm.
And then in parentheses, MUFON.
MUFON must have provided it.
All right. But I have Zeta Drakes, Saurians, fucking the Rothman, which goes by another name to us.
Oh,
the Moramians, the Orans, the fucking Telesoians, the Synthetics, Super Angels.
Whoa, that's my favorite Mexican wrestler.
Solar light beings. This thing's fucking crazy. There's Palladians and then renegade Palladians.
Oh, okay, it's like
Palladians. Sorry, not
Sure.
Palladians and then renegade Palladians. It's crazy.
Yeah, one gives you a charisma bonus, one's a wisdom situation.
Yes, the original human Orions.
Oh.
I'm just saying crazy shit, but we're going to learn about all of it.
But trust me, after all of this, it won't make sense.
Now I'm going to put the skull back in the chamois.
Back
in the chamois. In the chamois box, lined box. Very nice to feel. I enjoy it.
Yes.
All right, it's shut. Here you go, Jordan. Here's the key.
Reminds me of the flesh of the feline lionos. I shall lock the box and swallow the key until next week when I retrieve it via redacted methods. Folks, thank you so much for coming and hanging with us for another episode of Werewolf Radar. If you like what happened here today to all of you, you can get more of it over on Twitter, Instagram. There's a werewolfradar.com. There's a Werewolf Radar Patreon. You better believe it. You can help support the show with a financial donation. You'll get an extra episode every week that we call the Grave Nugget, as well as a bunch of other things, art, fiction, all kinds of shit. It's a lot of fun over there. You'll get to come hang with us in the Zoom room while we record. You'll see all of the bits that get left on the cutting room floor, which is not a lot, but boy, they are some
this time it was a good 10 minutes. We did a whole bit on something or other.
The tirade.
Fair.
But you can also come hang with us on Twitch, twitch.tv/werewolf_radar. That's Mondays at 4 p.m. Mountain Time. We're usually on there playing some Vigi games or some D&D or who knows what. Come check it out. And that does it for this particular episode of Werewolf Radar. Shout out to Chuck from Snappy Little Numbers for our intro and outro song. Until next time, our sign-off line on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Punch
the sky! Spaceman Joe. The camera has chosen me.
Oh. I was trying to hold it up. I have that book.
Oh, wow.